There's a fight that has been going on in numerous courts, including the Supreme Court, for over 2 years now that can change our country overnight. It's been on the back channels for years, but some new buzz has been going around. The case is known as Brunson versus Alma S. Adams et al. And has the potential to significantly reshape the world landscape by addressing concerns about constitutional adherence and accountability. The case focuses on whether lawmakers can be held responsible for actions that may have violated their oaths to protect the Constitution by refusing to pause the certification of the 2020 election at the urging of over 154 members of Congress. More simply put,
treason,
it's
right
kind
there.
of like the Supreme Court deciding that our politicians have been criminally negligent for not doing their jobs. Moreover, Brunson is attempting to hold Supreme Court justices liable if they don't do their job by upholding the Constitution. It's really ingenious, and the Supreme Court could be between a rock and a hard place. 3 brothers, Rayland, Loy, and Darren Brunson, are amazing. Like pit bulls on a slab of meat, they don't come up for air, filing case after case in multiple jurisdictions that media won't tell you about. There are 2 main cases and related cases that we are going to look at in this video.
Whoever said the Brunson case is dead,
number 22,
get a clue.
380 is
It's
known
not.
as Brunson versus Alma S. Adams.
It's going to remove all
and
388 Congress members.
Federal officers in their official capacities. I should make the point here that all of these cases are being submitted pro se, which means that the brothers are exercising their rights as U.S. citizens to represent themselves in the court system, right up to the Supreme Court. This seems ridiculous to many, but the Brunson brothers have an excellent understanding of the law and procedures and still enjoy the lenience of a pro se litigant. They amended the case many times, which shows that at least some judges were willing to be helpful. The Brunsons made numerous amendments doing the dance required to succeed in a system that has become so complex that it's impossible to beat the system these days as pro se. But the system may have met its match in the Brunson brothers. The second is case number 23, 1073, and is known as Brunson versus Sonia Sotomayor and as well Justice Elena Kagan and Ketanji Brown Jackson. If the Supreme Court rules in favor of the Brunsons, it could set a powerful precedent, reinforcing the importance of upholding constitutional duties for politicians and judges.
And attorneys.
Such a ruling could immediately restore faith in the system, bringing clarity to questions of governmental responsibility and ensuring that future actions remain aligned with the founding principles of the country. This could lead to widespread reforms and a renewed sense of integrity in public. The applicable filings and documents will be linked in the video description for your convenience. As always, share and like this video and subscribe to my channel for some of the most...
As you can see, the Brunson case is not dead. So whoever's out here telling you guys it is, tell them to fuck off. We're fixing to take the country back, and we're doing it legally. Have a nice day, guys. It's going to be a great, great year. Bye-bye.
I know that each of you will be a warrior for the truth.
So, Trump just took over the police in Washington, D.C. But if you think this is just politics, you're missing the ritual that's happening right in front of you. Under 7040 of the D.C. Home Rule Act, Trump placed the entire Metropolitan Police Department under federal control. He also deployed 800 National Guard troops into the city. And this comes at a time when crime is actually down by more than 25%. So if it's not about crime, then what's it about? Well, D.C. is a ritual city. You see, Washington, D.C. is not just a capital. It's a Masonic temple city. It's designed with sacred geometry, astrological alignments, and occult symbols embedded in the streets. There's even a pentagram in the street layout, and an owl shape surrounding the Capitol. The Washington Monument is an obelisk or tekken, and the Capitol dome represents the womb. See, the police in the city, and even your city, are more than just officers. Symbolically, they're actually temple guards of America's most powerful ritual space. See, this is an energetic seizure. By taking control of the D.C. police, Trump isn't just running law enforcement. He's seizing the guardians of the temple. And the National Guard brings in the Mars archetype, the planet of war and enforcement, activating the Pentagon's pentagram energy. This merges with the sun's rulership energy with Mars enforcement energy. So in occult terms, it's the king back with a sword. And there's an ill timing layer to this as well. Now this is where it gets deeper. This happened just days after the 8/8 Lionsgate portal and during the energy of a full moon in Aquarius. So this is a cosmic alignment tied to kingship, sovereignty, the collective, the rise of Sirius. And in ancient Kemet, Sirius rising signaled the flooding of the Nile and the empowerment of the Pharaoh. So DC's obelisk and the reflecting pool are aligned to mirror the sky, meaning moves like this during this portal carry much symbolic weight. So this is more than a policy move. This is an energetic conquest over the symbolic heart of America. They play chess on an occult board. And if you don't know the geometry, if you don't know the astrology and the ritual timing, you'll think it's just headlines. But this is the language of power, and this was a ritual claim of sovereignty by the president. Now the question is, what comes next? And also, are you prepared to do for self? Peace, power, prosperity.
God bless you, and God bless America. Thank you very much.
Why did you tear up this speech? And what do you think about him not shaking your hand? Were you invited to another State of the Union?
You have to go home now. We have to have peace. We have to have law and order. We have to respect our great people in law and order. I know that everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol building to peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard. We have to have peace. So go home. We love you, but go home and go home in peace.
We have responsibility, Carrie. We did not have any accountability for what was going on there, and we should have. This is ridiculous. You're going to ask me in the middle of the thing, and they've already breached the inaugural stuff, that should we call the Capitol Police? I mean, the National Guard? Why weren't the National Guard there to begin with? You thought that they had sufficient... That is not a question of how they have... They don't know. They clearly didn't know, and I take responsibility for not having them just prepare for war. I take responsibility for not having them just prepare for war. I take responsibility for not having them just prepare for war.
There's a secret behind Trump and Putin's Alaska meeting that has almost nothing to do with Ukraine. and everything to do with a deal that could possibly change the world. Most people already know that Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin are about to have a private meeting in Alaska on Friday, August 15th, 2025. There's no Europe, there's no Ukraine, just the US and Russia. And that's got Europe, and especially the UK, absolutely freaking out. Why do you think that is? Well, because for more than 100 years, the British Empire and now the EU have feared one thing, that America and Russia might work together instead of fighting. Because when those two get along, they don't need Europe in the middle, do they? Now, according to Promethean Action, this meeting could be about way more than stopping the war in Ukraine. It could be the start of what they call a development deal of the century. Here's what that means. The Arctic is opening up. New shipping routes, energy fields, rare minerals. Whoever builds there first wins big. The US and Russia control most of that region anyway. If they agree to develop it together, ports, pipelines, trade routes, then they set the rules. And Europe, well, they get left outside. That's lost revenue, lost tax money, lost control. And that's why Europe isn't invited. So they say, the fewer the people in the room, the faster the deal. Trump and Putin don't want Brussels slowing it down with endless ego-driven debates by the actor leaders who have no real-life experience. Think about it. How can Putin or Trump, who both have decades of experience in life, business, and politics, even begin to take people like von der Leyen, Macron, or Callas even serious? They have done nothing of substance besides act for the cameras and follow their puppet master's rules. And it's time to end their game. Trump and Putin want to see if they can freeze the Ukraine fighting and start building. Why is Europe so nervous? 3 big reasons. 1, power. If the US and Russia set Arctic rules, Europe loses its gatekeeper role in global trade. 2, energy. New pipelines and shipping could bypass Europe's control over gas and oil. And number 3, politics. A thaw between the US and Russia would wreck the EU forever. Sanctions. Strategy and weaken the grip on the West. And the UK, well, this hits their old imperial nerves, doesn't it? Historically, London's strategy was to keep America and Russia apart so that Britain could always be the middleman in global trade and politics. An Alaska deal flips that script, and they know it. So what does it mean for America, though? It means more economic freedom. We can open new trade routes, access new resources, and cut out the middleman. It means more power. We become a builder again, not just a buyer. It means more autonomy. We can make deals that put our workers, our businesses, and our security first without the strings of the EU, NATO, bureaucracy, or the old global order. Here's the bottom line. If this meeting works and America can get along with Russia where it makes sense, then we might finally be our own boss again. That's why Alaska matters. And that's why the old guard is so damn scared. This is getting good, isn't it?
Masons call themselves traveling men. They move from the west to the east. West, where the sun dies. East, where the sun rises. Symbolic of rising from darkness to light, from death to rebirth, from survival to creation. We've been programmed to stay in survival mode. Money, bills, stress, and daily grind. But the true power of the mind isn't just to survive, it's to create. Why do you think the most powerful people, builders of empires, industries, are Freemasons? Because they understand self-mastery. They don't just build structures, they build powerful minds. In Freemasonic paintings, you'll see the images and symbols of tools. These tools are not for construction, but for the transformation of the inner self. They represent the mastering of thought, emotion, and consciousness, building a strong mind, because a chaotic mind cannot create. West to east, left brain to the right brain, logic to creativity. It's all symbolic. Master your mind and you master your reality.
Meanwhile, tonight, officials are now investigating what caused a fire in Beech Grove today. Firefighters responded to the Masonic Lodge around 3 o'clock.
This morning in Aurora, a big fire at the historic Lincoln Masonic Temple.
Crews in Providence returned to the scene of a fire on Eddy Street after it reignited last night. The fire destroyed the Prince Hall Masonic Temple.
Fire heavily damaged the headquarters of the Masonic Lodge in Farmington late this afternoon.
Before the fire, this was the Freemason Lodge in Malden.
Firefighters struggled to control this blaze in a building housing a Masonic lodge.
Fire is so huge, it took more than 60 Cleveland firefighters to bring it under control. But even they couldn't save the Cleveland landmark that meant so much to so many. Flames erupted at Cleveland's Prince Hall Masonic Temple last night. And today, crews began knocking down what remained after much of the building collapsed.
Well, an investigation into a possible arson is underway right now here at the Masonic Lodge on Weston Road.
Firefighters in